Today we're going to look at solving inequalities with variables on both sides, just like when we looked at them solving equations. We want to make sure that all of our variables are combined and we move them from one side to the other so that we only see one variable. When dealing with inequalities, we like our variables to end up on the left side to make it easy to graph my solutions. So let's look at an example together. Our first example is y is less than or equal to 4y plus 18. We see that we have a y here and here, one on the left side of the inequality and one on the right. Since we want our variables to end up on the left, we need to move this 4y to the other side. Since it is already positive, to move it, we are going to subtract 4y from both sides. That will make these cancel out. And remember that when you don't see anything in front of your variable, it's like a 1 is there. So then we have 1 minus 4, which gives me a negative 3y. When we put it in the calculator, we put it in from the top to the bottom. So negative 3y is less than or equal to 18. Now we just have a one-step inequality. Since we see negative 3 times y, to undo multiplication, we're dividing by a negative 3 on both sides. And right here, we should realize, wait a minute, I just divided by a negative, and I have to remember to flip my sign. So the negative 3's cancel, y, but now instead of it being less than or equal to, I have to flip it to greater than or equal to. And 18 divided by negative 3, I put it in my calculator. 18 divided by negative 3 is negative 6. So my solution becomes y is greater than or equal to negative 6. Come over here to graph. At negative 6, since it's greater than or equal to, I'm going to put my closed dot. And greater than means it's everything to the right. There's my first solution. Let's look at another one together. We have 4m minus 3 is less than 2m plus 6. I see my variable 4m on the left side of the inequality right here, and I have a variable 2m on the right side of the inequality right there. Since I want them to end up on the left, I'm going to move this 2m to the other side. Since it's a positive 2m to begin with, I'm going to subtract it from both sides. That will cancel over there. 4m minus 2m gives me a positive 2m, and then I bring down that minus 3 is less than 6. So now it's a two-step inequality. I see subtraction, so to move that 3 to the other side, I'm going to add 3. I'm left with 2m is less than, and 6 plus 3 is 9. Last step, that's 2 times m. To undo the multiplication, I'm going to divide. And if I were to put that in my calculator, I would get 9 over 2, or 4.5. Having a fraction is okay as your answer. So 9 halves is 4.5. So we are putting an open dot at 4.5, and since it's less than, that's why it's open, and it's everything to the left. Now, along with just having variables on both sides, we could also have to distribute as well. So let's look at an example where we see both. We have 2 times k minus 3 is greater than 3 plus 3k. So we know as soon as we see parentheses with a number being multiplied outside of it, we need to distribute to everything inside. 2 times k just becomes 2k. 2 times a negative 3 is a negative 6, and then I bring down the right side of the inequality. So now I see I've got a 2k over here on the left and a positive 3k over here on the right. Since I want my variables on the left, I'm going ahead and move this 3k to the other side. Since it's already positive, I'm going to subtract 3k from both sides. That will cancel it on the right. 2 minus 3 is a negative 1k. Bring down the minus 6 is greater than 3. Now it's just a two-step problem. I see subtraction, so to move that to the other side, I'm going to add 6. That will cancel. So we have negative 1k, and 3 plus 6 is 9. But I'm not finished because I want k by itself, and right now there's still a negative 1 in front, so I need to divide everything by negative 1. So right here again, I should realize I just divided by a negative. I need to flip my inequality symbol for my final answer. So instead of it being greater than, my symbol is now less than. And 9 divided by negative 1 is a negative 9. To go over and graph. So at negative 9, I'm putting an open dot. And since it's everything less than that, I'm shading to the left. That is solving inequalities with variables on both sides. Just like with equations, we need to move them so that they only appear on the left-hand side of our inequality symbol, and then go ahead and solve our inequality.